How are you today, Fermin?
Good, good, Crystal. You?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent.
So, for everyone that's on here, and I hope everyone can hear us okay, listening to our, talk about driving and getting stuck in different various weather patterns and what have you. We have Fermin on here. Now, Fermin, so based on what I'm reading from what Tara wrote, you kind of jumped into the real estate scene more on a part-time basis. And then leveraged your online leads and was successful enough at that to allow you to fully jump into real estate as a full-time career rather than kind of dibble-dabbling and, like a lot of us do when we first start an industry like this, it's commission-based. A lot of individuals keep a job on the side because they need to have some revenues coming in. But you leveraged, took advantage of online leads to the point where it allowed you to, quit your day, your standard 9 to 5 job and become full-time real estate. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. My background is in construction. So
Okay.
I started working in construction 19 years old in Italy. Then I moved to Canada and keep going with construction. That's the only thing that I knew to do, right?
Yes.
But I knew that sooner or later I was getting old and I wanted to do something more excited. So I looked into the real estate. Everybody suggests me that was a very, very tough place to be in order to succeed. It was very hard. And so I got my license in 2019. Right after I started with a company that they were doing everything for me, like getting leads, trying to convert them. They were making the calls, talking to them. So basically, they were just passing me the leads whenever they feel they were ready, right?
Yes.
But I find like so many times there was a misconnection in between me and my assistant. Like
Yes.
he was saying things that I will not say, or I wanted to ask something that he will not ask.
Yes.
So I was looking for another alternative, like another way to do it, and I didn't know how. In my old brokerage, there were a lot of successful realtors.
Yes.
But in this field, nobody wants to share how to do it.
There's few. There's some that do for sure, and then some are very, very private about how they gain their success and what they're doing differently.
Yes, and I was getting all the private ones.
Yeah.
I remember once I walked into my office, I didn't know what I was doing, and it was this successful old realtor, like closing like 5 deals, and I say, how do you do it? How do you get leads? So he said, don't worry, sooner or later you either figure it out or you're gonna fail.
Yeah. Okay, that's great advice.
Thanks for your advice. He didn't give me any hope, and then I start browsing on the internet, and I found an agent locator.
Okay.
I contact support. They were amazing. They make me. I didn't know what it was, a CRM. I didn't know what it was, Google Ads or anything. So I was green. Jason was my contact for support. So Jason was guiding me all the way through, and then I have meetings with you twice to set up my CRM and teaching me how to do things. And that's how I started, slow. And then I started doing deals, and then all of a sudden I say, well, once my hobby, because it was kind of my hobby to try to see if it was going to work, I was going to quit my job. So once I see that that's the way that they were doing, I say, okay, I might have something here. So
you got something,
I got more serious, and and I started to convert leads, and that's how I start to. It was a little bit of a time that it took me like 2 years since I was licensed until I was full time.
Till you're full time, okay. And then how long were you in the process of? Because it's not uncommon for a lot of individuals, especially when you do have another job, because we have to, be available and accessible to these individuals, on the phone, email, whatever it might be. How long were you using that third party company to help you with your leads before you decided that, this isn't working? Again, there's gaps that that's not uncommon, that there is gaps because we don't know what's being said to that individual to get them to the point of a conversation with you, right? So often there's a gap and you're calling them and, not all the information is relayed over. Were you finding any success with using a third party when you were first doing it? Or is it just more of like they're, giving you someone to call and it just didn't really go anywhere?
No, I didn't find any success. I didn't convert any leads from them because they were giving me like, I don't know, people that were dialing, I don't know where they were, but they didn't know my area. So whenever I say, oh, I want people from this area, they didn't know what I was talking. They just wanted to convert they were by the hour, right? They didn't care if I convert or not. Even they say like, if I convert, they will get a bonus.
Yes.
But so I was a year with them.
Okay.
With no success. And funny enough, when I left them, I read the contract and I have the right to keep my contacts, whatever leads. So I asked them and I imported like all these leads. I put it into the CRM for Agent Locator and I convert 2 of them and I still in touch with a lot of them.
Okay.
That's good. And these leads from 2020, for the year 2020, and it's still there.
Yeah, they're still there. They're still now being nurtured, and you're able to follow up with them your way, not somebody else's way, right? And that's a common thing. Like, again, a lot of these, not all of them, but a lot of them, they're just, they could care less what your end result is because regardless, they're getting paid, right? So, and there is some that, definitely that's not all of them. There are some good third parties that out there that do this, that understand the industry, understand the area, the market, everything. So they just cost a little bit more, generally speaking. And there's, different ways. So when you first imported your database into the Agent Locator system, what shifted when it came to actually reaching out to your leads? How did that look? Were you utilizing, majority of the campaigns and only, commenting or following up with people that responded to messages? Or were you taking the initiative at that first point and being like, you know what, I'm going to reach out to all these people, have these conversations, get things going, and kind of move along from there?
That's how I did. It was at the end of COVID. So what I did, I said, okay, how am I going to approach these people? Because they're going to think either I'm crazy or I'm, what I was doing. So what I did was I have the buyer's campaign, the Agent Locator have it. I set it up with you, actually. So before to put them on that campaign, I called every single one of them. I called and introduced them and said, well, hi, this is Fermin. Sorry to bother you, but I'm looking into my old leads. That you registered on my website, and they were like, oh, but that was months ago. I said, yes, but it was COVID time. I didn't want to bother you. I didn't know where were you. So that way, I kind of like break the ice with them. And okay, yes, well, I'm still looking, or I'm not looking anymore, or my situation changed. I moved. That's how I did, and that's how I started screening everybody on my of those leads.
Okay, so it's like process of elimination at that point. I've got all these people in here. I need to figure out who's still looking, who's not looking anymore, or who has potentially already purchased a home, and then organize your database that way.
Yeah, or they change because now they went to get pre-approved and they thought that they qualify for $1 million, but now they qualify for $600,000.
Yes. Things change, right? Or they, everyone often has this idea of what they think they can afford. Reality is often definitely a little bit different. Now, when you were approaching these leads, was it more like, again, you're introducing yourself, which is, great. There is, and I know with a lot of individuals, you do have older leads in your database that like viewers that are watching here that, a lot of people don't realize that those older leads actually have a lot of promise to them, right? Because they came from 2019, 2020 for you, and they're still in that process of preparing or saving, getting themselves ready for the move. And really, it's just reaching out and figuring out where each person is in the process so that you can collectively follow up with them.
Yes, correct. Their goal.
Did you talk about how you've really developed a mindset? Like you really worked on your mindset to get yourself into that the way that you have to be devoted to working this pillar of your business?
Well, I know I didn't talk before, but the way that I did, since I was coming from construction, I was used to people come to me and ask me, please, can you build this for me? So I wasn't selling myself. I didn't know how to sell. And then in the beginning was tough for me because I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't know how to sell myself. But then I found Tara's drip campaign. And then Tara teach me like something very important, and that switched my mind. Like, it's not how to convert the lead or what I can sell to them. It's how can I help them? In which way can I help them? So once you switch that in your mind, like it makes a big difference, because now you're not a salesperson that pushy, bullet for like salesman. You're just a friend that tries to help you. Like, and that works like a charm for me, because now I was more relaxed doing the calls. If they said no, if they hang up on me, I didn't take it personal. It was, because it happens, you know, people in bad mood. That helps me a lot. And once I understand that, every day when I wake up in the morning, I say, okay, how I can help my clients, and they feel it. They see the difference. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's kind of getting attached to the process of it all rather than the outcome of what you're doing, and helping them through that process, right? And realizing that we're not going to win them all while we're doing it, but you also feel better about yourself that, you know, I did something good today. I helped these people, or I feel more confident about what I'm doing, rather than calling everyone, trying to see if they want to just buy or sell, and then getting disappointed with the outcome of those calls.
Yeah, and also in my old brokerage, like the first broker or record that I have, he was he teach me, like, if they don't sign the buyer representation agreement, don't even talk to them. They don't deserve. Like he nailed that in my head, and I lost a lot of people like that. And then Tara teach me, no, don't worry, go show a place, talk to them, because it's very important to get in touch with them. They see each other. Maybe they don't like you over the phone, but if they see you in person. And that's how I started to do it. I said, well, might as well be sitting in the office or in my home, might as well go meet someone. I show a place. Maybe they like it. And I get a lot of people like that.
Have you ever kind of gone that step, Fermin, with, say, your leads, where maybe you know that they need to get more info, and you're going to take an extra 5 minutes ahead of time just to kind of introduce yourself?
Yes, different leads. I treat different leads with different personalities, right? There's people that want to know more. There's people that they don't want to be pushed. There's people like they have the guard up and they don't want to put it down. Like, and once they meet you, like some of them relax. I always try to approach them not for the point of view of selling, but hey, hi, I'm here. I try to be your friend. Let me see what I can do for you. And sometimes I'm going to show them a property, and I find out that they lied to me, that were pre-approved, or they were not ready yet, and then I ended up sending them to my mortgage broker. Like it was like, or they realized like, oh, really? I need that. I'm not prepared then. I thought that I was prepared, but when they are prepared, hopefully they will come back to me. Like the first showing that I have this year was a Filipino couple. They wanted to upgrade for a bigger place, and I said, well, if I was you, I will wait a little bit and see, because interest rate, it might kill you after. And you're not in a situation, because they told me how much was left over from the salary paying the mortgage. And I said, just wait. Funny enough, they said, okay, we'll renew the mortgage. They respect the interest rate. We're going to wait. Thank you, Fermin. And they're still in touch with me. And I know that when they're ready, they're going to come back to me, or because they keep in touch. Like they text me, they call me, they ask me questions, like, and that for me is priceless. One of the things I do also to keep in touch with them is sending them newsletters just with information, videos or content from my mortgage brokers. And they really appreciate this. Like I got some replies for the leads. I say, I'm not ready now, but thank you very much for keeping me updated. They don't know. They really don't know what is happening. And they all think that we have a crystal ball. Like, hey, what is going to happen? We're going to have an interest rate. What is going to happen? Value of property will go up. I don't know. If I knew it, would be great. I will share it with you, but I
I
don't
wish
know.
we had a crystal ball. Let me
I
tell
know,
you,
right?
man, I sleep a lot better at night.
Yeah. What should
You'd
I
have a
do? I
lot
don't
of
know.
friends. You'd have a lot of
I
friends,
know.
that's for sure.
Exactly. It's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
And I keep changing as the market change. I give options to them. Like I saw on my leads, I saw a lot of them. They were sitting there because they can afford in between $400 and $700, and I see a lot of them replying to me, "I'm not ready now. I had to wait. I had to see. I'm checking on the interest rate." So what I did was like, I did a course with a rent-to-own company. So then I give them a choice to get into the market with a rent-to-own if they want it.
Great.
So I did send an email to them, and I have like 15 of my leads interested. And so far, I've been sending to this company 5 leads that they might be possible buyers, that they are in a low with a low down payment, right?
Now, Fermin, I was going to say, am I allowed to tell people this, but guess I'm going to tell them anyways.
Yeah.
You sometimes go away for the winter, right?
Yes.
Now, when you're away, of course, our lovely world has Wi-Fi everywhere. Do you let your leads go? What do you do with them?
I keep going. I keep working like as I was in Toronto. I never give up. I never give up. For me, it's no weekends, it's no holidays, it's not. Every day is a working day for me. It's tougher to work in construction than make a phone call. So that's why for me, like I was saying on that course that we did, like when I hear realtors saying, "Oh, this is so stressful, this is so hard," it's because they never work in construction. They never have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and build a house like I was doing, right? That's tough.
Okay, that's funny, actually. And you're very right. What I also noticed, Fermin, if I may say it again, he says he wakes up every morning and he says, "What can I do today to help my clients?" And I think when you're referring to clients, you're also referring to the ones that are in our CRMs or leads.
Yes.
Because like me, everybody that registered is on my CRM is already a client of Terrace. Like, ask anybody that's worked really closely with me. I mean, I view them that way. And there's something to be said, folks, about starting the day with an affirmation. That is a great affirmation. What a greater way to start your day when you wake up and go, "How can I help my people today?" Right? So do you notice, Fermin, that when you say that to yourself, maybe some ideas start popping into your head? "Oh, maybe today I'll do this for them," or maybe I'll mention this.
Yes, even when I go to sleep, I would think, okay, today was great, but tomorrow's going to be even better. So what can I do for them? And before I go into sleep, sometimes an idea pop up. Okay, I'm going to create this text message or this email for them. I'm going to try this way. I'm going to see this person or someone comes to me. "Oh, what happened with this person? I don't know what is doing. What's going on?" And the first thing I do in the morning, I call them, I send them a message and see what's happened. But I'm always thinking about them.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you continue, because I've always been a real advocate of, we can continue to add people that we meet onto the Agent Locator CRM and kind of add to it. What Fermin did when he really decided a little over 2 years ago, "Listen, I'm really rocking and rolling full time with real estate." You started really networking. You kind of figured out different groups that you would just sort of show up to different events. They were having public events and started kind of creating a bond with people that you would never have had an opportunity to meet, right? Are you able to kind of continue through that networking, which really I would say is a pillar of your business? Would you agree?
Yes.
And are you able to get those leads, put them on to the CRM and work them?
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay.
They're very good leads, and the best part of it is they're free.
They're free.
You-
No offense, Angel. We're all about organic.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, you go out, you have fun, you meet people, and on top of
Yeah.
that, you get a lead. And
Yeah.
sometimes they are not interested or they are not ready, but sometimes they refer to someone else.
Mhm.
And like
Mhm.
even when I go to a birthday party, I'm going everywhere. Even when my friends have kids of 2 years old, I got no kids. So yes, I mean, I go
Yeah.
to meet the parents.
And
No,
what
no.
happened when you went to that? Here's the story. So we were at the
Yeah.
Toronto office and we were talking about his networking. And of course, I'm like, wow, that's great. I'm so proud of you. He goes, listen, I even went to this birthday party. I'm not really kids. But what happened when you did make yourself go? What happened?
Yes, I met like my friend, the father of the kid. He says, "Okay, here is one of my friends. He has an issue. One of the realtors that he was working with, and it's like Tara said, this realtor took him to see a place in Pickering. Finally, a $800,000 home. Finally, when they went to get the house, he realized that someone like his credit score was bad. He was not pre-approved for a mortgage, and he already put an offer with the deposit. So the thing happens is like he was renting a place. He applied for a credit card at Costco. He moved to another place, and the tenants took his credit card and purchased something on it, and they never paid, and he didn't know. So I say, okay, don't worry, I'm going to help you with this. Just give me a call Monday morning, and we'll figure it out. We're going to take it to my mortgage broker. We're going to see how we can help you. And then another guy was listening to the conversation and says, well, I'm saving money, how can I do? And we start talking and say, well, here's my business card. Just give me a call, and we're going to meet for a coffee, and I can figure it out. So how can I help you? And those two guys are on my pipeline now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to go.
Getting ready.
He didn't want to go to the party.
He didn't want to go.
Now he's going to every kid's party out there.
There we are. Even if I'm not invited.
Yeah. He just shows up. I heard there's a party here.
Yeah, exactly.
How, Fermin, do you tackle those needs when you're calling them? They're not looking really because we're watching the interest rates or we're changing our minds. How do you tackle those types of individuals?
I'm very happy at first because if they're not looking, they're giving that answer to another realtor. So I got more chances to succeed, right? So I say, okay, no problem, fantastic. I will keep sending you the emails. If you need any information or if you want to walk to any of the properties I'm sending you, just give me a call anytime. I help you, no problem. I love when they say that because it's like they're saying that to another realtor and another realtor is going to give up on them.
You're going to delete them.
Not me. I never give up. I don't delete.
Don't
delete. And then how often do you follow up with those individuals? So when they tell you that, and let's say we don't go much further into that, how do you follow up with an individual that initially, said that they're just looking so that they will work with you because the other agents are going to just drop the ball?
Well, there are a lot of liars out there. So what I do is like first I put a tag for a month, but also I put a tag for a week, just to remind me to have an eye on them. Also, if I have the activity check on my emails, right? But if they're just opening the emails and they're not checking in the property, I'm not going to get the alert on my emails. So that's what I also check in myself to see if they're lying to me. Because usually people say, I'm just looking, I'm not doing anything. Okay, fine. And then I pretend that I never talked to them. And I call them again. And sometimes they don't even remember that it's me again. And they tell me another lie, or they tell me, oh, well, no, I'm looking in this area. So I got nothing to lose. Like one of my leads told me once that he said, oh, I'm so confused because I look into a property and now I have 7 realtors sending me properties. So do you think he's going to remember me?
Yeah.
And I don't care. I keep trying.
Yes.
I never give up.
You got to stand out against competition.
What a great session. Thank you, Fermin.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the
Thanks
opportunity.
for coming on. Yes.
Wealth of knowledge. I hope you guys learned a lot. He's an amazing realtor. So, reach out if you've got any questions.
Yes, please. I love to help people.
There we go.
Yes.
And he'll come to the kids' parties as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll take your business for your kids'
Invite him,
party.
Awesome. Thanks, Fermin. Thanks, Karen. Everyone that's on today.
Thank
we'll
you.
see you all in a couple
In
weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks,
Bye.
everybody. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Fermin.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.